Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. As you guys can see from the title, today I am going to do a palette bingo with the new Natasha Denona Zendo palette. Now, try not to blind you because it's very reflective. So here's the palette here. I did a video where I shared with you guys comparison shadows to other Natasha Denona palettes that I did own in my collection. If you want to check that out, I'll put it up in the iCard so you can go ahead and check out that to see if you even want to get this palette if you have other ones of hers. So today I wanted to share with you guys basically my final thoughts on this palette. I have been using it for quite some time. I think I have, I've used every single shade in here multiple times with different looks, different palettes mixed within it on its own, so on and so forth. So I wanted to do a palette bingo and kind of wrap up my thoughts about it because I kind of feel like this palette is a very misunderstood palette from what I've been hearing other people speak of it. So I wanted to give you guys my thoughts and what it is that this palette's about. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash bar Japan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with the palette bingo. So if you're new to my channel, my palette bingos always go across. So I'm just going to go ahead and randomize the shades that we're going to do 1 through 15. So let's see what we get. Number 2 is the first one, which is Luster, which is this bright yellow gold shade right here. So I'm going to put that there. Next shadow that we get is 11, which is 5, 10, 11, which is this one called Scent right down here. So far we got 2 shimmers. This is what we got so far. Okay, next up, 15, the very, very last one, which is called Zeal. Right here, this matte khaki green. One of the first shades I actually used in this palette. This is a matte. This is actually a nice color combo. Then we get a number 4, which is this blue called Flow right there. What finger do I have left? There we go. This is going to be very interesting, you guys. And the last shade that we have is number 9. Oh my goodness. Okay. Which is this one right here called Equilibrium. So I'm going to swatch that one. So here's what we got going, you guys. 1 matte, the rest are shimmer. We're going to make this work. So let me just clean off thy fingers and then we're going to get started. Okie doke, you guys. So I think I'm going to start out definitely with Luster right here in the inner corner, which I don't ever start my looks like that, but I figured today let's do something different. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to do my looks. So this palette is $65. It's one of her larger small palettes. She has the 5-pan, the mini 5-pan, the 5-pan, then she has this one, which is 15 shades, and then she has her larger palette, which just have larger pans in them. I actually appreciate this because who's going to go through so much shadow that you need that large pan and they're so deep and you're saving yourself money and you're still getting the same quality. So this is no different. This is $65. It has a mirror on it. As you guys can see, I love her mirror. I love her packaging. This is a reflective packaging. It's more like a bronzy brown. And I know a lot of people didn't like that because it's very similar to the Sunrise palette and the bronze. This one's a lot deeper, but I understand why she did that. I could have seen her do like maybe a dark blue, maybe like a water blue, and that would have been nice for this palette, but I understand why she chose what she chose. So I already did the inner corner. Let's see what we can do next. Now I can see myself going 2 different ways. I can actually put this all over the lid on the outer V and then put these on my lower lash line, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go with this one on the lid. No, this one on the outer V, this all over the lid, and these 2 maybe on the bottom lash line. We'll see. Hopefully that'll work. Because every time I try to experiment with palette bingo, I screw it up. So, we'll see. So I'm just going to grab Equilibrium and put this on the outer V and bring it up because it is a shimmer, but I think I could get away with it because of its depth. So I have actually seen, or I've heard, I actually haven't looked at many reviews, but I have heard a few individuals say that they're kind of disappointed in this palette because she doesn't have her metallic-y shadows in here. She doesn't have those vibrant metallics in here, or that the color story is too similar to her other palettes, so on and so forth. So here are my thoughts on this. I feel, and I could be wrong, this is just me, you guys, so please don't run off with this and say, well, Alex said this and you guys did that. That's not why I'm saying this. I'm just blending out the edges. I'm trying to go slowly. So I feel like certain individuals bought this palette without really understanding it or reading it, honestly. I don't think they really took the time to get it, because some may very well have bought this palette just to be the first ones to have the views. And I do feel like there are some people like that because they steer you wrong. I hate that. I hate using the word hate, but it drives me crazy when somebody buys anything and they do like automatically a quick video on it, but really don't get you to understand the palette. So I'm trying my best because I did my research with this palette, obviously. This palette is called the Zendo palette. The word Zen is in this palette. Zen to me reminds me, or from what I've read, it's more of like a meditation, a relaxation, kind of like being one with yourself kind of stuff, like relaxing. I picture Zen as me being relaxed, calm, tranquil. Like those words come up in my head whenever I think of the word Zen. So looking at this palette, I'm not expecting these metallic, high shine, bright shades because it's supposed to be tranquil and relaxing and just peaceful. And that's what I see in here. The other thing is when I saw this palette and I read what Natasha Denona was trying to portray, that's exactly what I thought. And then when I read it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. The other thing I do see in here that many people didn't understand is that she also brought in the elements of I don't know what you call them, the elements, I guess, where you see like fire, you see water, you see earth, and you see like air. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I see that the water, the earth, I see like stone shades, the browns bring it down to earth. Like, that's what I am seeing in here. Maybe that's not what she was trying to say, but that's what I'm seeing, especially if I am reading the word Zen in a palette. I am not expecting these bright, metallic-y, shiny, out there shades. She did that with the Circo Loco palette. That is called Crazy Circus. So obviously that palette, even the design on the outside of that palette looks like a circus. So it made complete sense. And I feel like those that, I don't understand why we take makeup any different from like a music artist. If a music, somebody that pulls out a song that's a ballad about something, and then they have a whole different song coming out, you're not going to compare the two because they're two totally different songs. It's just the same artist. And I feel like we lose that when it comes to makeup. You automatically have this mindset of this individual makeup artist that comes out with this specific formula and you're expecting it in every single palette. But it's not necessarily that way because they're expressing themselves differently in every single palette. And I feel like a lot of us don't do the research before you actually take the plunge and purchase it. And then you automatically critique it without really understanding it. And I feel like this is one of the most misunderstood palettes from Natasha Denona. And I don't get it. It says Zen on there. And she explained it in her description. I actually looked it up. And it explains that she's trying to do the elements on here. She's trying to make it more tranquil, relaxing. That's exactly what I get out of this palette. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. And if you're somebody who doesn't like those high shine metallics, this is a good palette for you. Okay, guys. That's the blue on the outer part. Now let's go with, what did I say? The red. So I'm going to use my finger with the red, which is called, well, it's not really a red. It's like a purple red shade. Purple, red, brown. It's really pretty. I did actually use this one all over my lid with this coral shade. It's very, very pretty. So I feel like her formula in this palette is great. It's no different from her other palettes in the sense of her formula not performing. Like, I feel like this is a good palette. And if you were wanting color, but you wanted it to be not as bright and bold, from Natasha Denona, this is a great one to try. You're not getting anything that's like out there. This is a really nice palette for everyone. I really do feel like it's really nice. I don't understand the misunderstanding with it. I just don't think many did the research to understand this palette. It's really, really pretty. I really have been enjoying it. I've been enjoying every single look. Do I have this color scheme? Yeah. In other palettes? Yep. Do I feel like you have to have this one? No. I don't feel like you have to have anything that I showcase on my channel. I'm sure you have enough that you could dupe it. But I do love her formula. And I know a lot of you, because you have expressed it to me, which I was not aware of. Natasha Denona sometimes has this formula, especially in the reds, I believe, in the red tones, where it gives you an irritation on your eyes. So just be wary, because I always like to mention that, because I am not allergic to her formula, but I know some of you may. So just keep that in mind, because this does have reds in it. This side is driving me crazy, and I think it's because of my hair. I don't like how this came out. So I don't hate this palette at all. I like it a lot, and I've been enjoying it a lot, and I feel like it's definitely one of the misunderstood palettes that she has come out with. I don't understand why you didn't make your research before you got it. All right, so I'm gonna go with this blue one called Flow, which even the names remind me of like the ocean, like flow, equilibrium, calm, tranquil, sense, luster, balance. Like, even the names in the palette are trying to tell you it's like relaxing, zen. Hello. How much more can Natasha tell you this? I don't know. But overall, I really do like it. I think that if you're interested in it because you do like the color story and you think you're gonna get use out of it, I think it's worth it. I absolutely do think it's worth it. I think it's beautiful. I love the looks. I wore this for Mother's Day. I wore this for Mother's Day dinner that I had. I've been wearing it. Today's supposed to be 90. I'm doing this bright and early in the morning because I know it's going to get super hot up here. So today's supposed to be 90 degrees, and guarantee you this look is going to sit and linger with me the whole day and not going to fade. I have no issues with her formula at all. I really do like her formula. And this palette truly spoke to me. I don't know what it was, but it spoke to me. It has a great balance. And that's what it is. Yin, yang, zen, the balancing of, life. You're getting cool tones, you're getting mattes. What am I saying? You're getting warm tones and cool tones. You're getting enough mattes in here to change up your look. You're getting enough shiny colors that are not like out there. And you can always wet these if you want these to be super metallic. But a lot of these are just more like subdued. As you guys can see, it's more subdued. And I love that. The last color I'm getting is Zell, which is that brown green shade. And I'm just going to put this on the outer part here. I do like it. And you do have to be careful because you can get a muddy mess. This color, I treat it more like a brown than anything, like a dark brown. It's not, it's not really green. And if I put it up here, it'll get muddy. So I'm just saying, just be careful. I took a risk by doing a palette bingo with this because I know it's warm tones and cool tones. That's why I'm trying not to blend as much. But this side is still driving me crazy. Let's see if I can do this. I'm just going to blend this. But just so you guys know, if you are interested, just keep those thoughts in mind if that's something that you want in a palette. You're not going to get those metallic-y, shimmery, sparkly shades. That's not what this palette is about. And I appreciate that she does change that. She's not keeping the same theme over and over the same. Then what's the point? You can only do so many shades in that formula. You got to change it up. So I appreciate that she did that. And she's smart to do that too, because you got to sometimes change it up to keep yourself fresh. Otherwise, people won't be talking about you, will they? All right, that's as far as I'm taking it, you guys. So let me do my mascara, lashes, the whole 9 yards, and then I will wrap this whole video up. All right, you guys, so this is my final look. I actually don't mind it. It's actually different from what I've been doing. I know that I have mentioned I just got to be very careful with mixing the cool tones with the warm tones in this palette, but I feel like you're getting both ends in a nice, beautiful way. The blues are not too out there. The reds are not too out there. You're getting some colors to ground you, and even some of these mattes, like I feel Mindful and Relief, these two right here are that squishy kind of formula. And what I mean by that, it's like that wet cream to powder formula, and they worked perfectly fine on my lid, you guys. You just got to work a little bit differently, use a little bit more of a softer touch, and then blend it out gently and take your time with those, so then they don't sit there and like cling to anything or become patchy on your eyes or have those skip marks, like, you know, those skid marks that you get on your lid. You just got to learn how to use those two shades. But I've used both of them, and I thought both of them looked perfectly fine on my eyes. I had no issues, and they did not crease on me or fade away even in the sun and the heat. So I enjoy this palette. I'm probably in the minority because I know I've seen a lot of reviews where they're like, I don't know if I like it, the color, Do your research before you purchase this palette or any palette or anything you get, because sometimes I feel like some people just buy it for the hype and know that they're going to get more views that way because they're the first ones, then really give you an educated overview of whatever it is that they're reviewing. So I really do like it. I think that she did portray that whole zen, that whole tranquil feeling. I'm holding it this way so the reflection doesn't ruin it. But I think she did a good job with this one. For what I see her trying to get and showcase in this palette, she did it. She did a good job on it. And it's not many cool and warm tone palettes out there that are this colorful. And typically you would see them more neutrals, just like the Wild West palette. It's a lot more neutral, so you can get away with that more. This is a lot more colorful. It's a little bit more difficult to do, but I feel like she did a great job at it. She really, really did. And I do enjoy this palette. Like I said, I've used every single, you could see how much I've used this palette. I really have beaten up this one. I think I really, really do like this one a lot. It just made me enjoy more of a subtle eye, a subtle, colorful eye, if that makes any sense. This represents me. I love color. I love neutrals. I like the brights. I like the subdued. This is all in one. This would be me all in one in a palette. I feel like you're getting the fun shades, but it's like I still can tone it down if I want to. So that's it. That's my thoughts, you guys. I'll link it down in the description box. I believe it is permanent to her collection, so you can get it anytime. I know around Black Friday she does do sales and bundles and things if you want to wait till then for some sort of gift giving. Like I got that one for Mother's Day, so I appreciate it a little bit more. So anyway, maybe my kids are trying to tell me something to be more zen. I don't know. Who knows? All right, you guys. I will see you guys in the videos that I'm posting on the screen right now. Until then, adios.